Okay, so the gear, you take out the those three bolts you see there, and the old gear comes out, no problem. Get the new gear, reverse it, put the new gear in, put plenty of grease right here on this wheel and on this one here. Something I noticed for those three bolts, they go in unfortunately in more than one way, so before you tighten one, make sure all three of them are in. So just make sure you got the right holes. You know, you may have to turn this, okay, but to line it up. And then on the motor, same thing, just reverse everything. Put the warm gear, of course, I didn't replace these here. Bought two, actually no, I didn't replace it. Brought two of them, but I didn't replace them because it was in great shape, being there just plastic on there. What really was damaged was the gear. So put that in, put the bracket in, the three bolts, okay? Then after that, you got this here, remember I broke, but the kit I purchased brings everything. That's what I would recommend, purchase the same kit that I did. After that goes this washer, then goes this pressure washer, and then the cover for that washer, okay? So there you have it there. And then what I did with this here, with the 2 Allen wrenches, because of that pressure washer, okay, I put a little pressure on here, but still able for it to move a little bit with pressure, but not without pressure. Okay, so it's tight, but as you can see, hopefully you can see in the video, okay, it has that movement right there. That's what you want. Okay, so plenty of grease on there. Okay, before you put the 4 bolts, see 2 here on this side and 2 on the opposite side, you're going to have to take this out if yours came with it like mine did. Again, just gently pulls out and then bring this little gear down. After you take that off, this will slide in, okay, straight up. Hold it with one hand and then put one of these bolts in. Good purchase I made was these tips here, which have a magnet on it, so it makes it a lot easier. There's your other side there, what it looks like. Okay, so again, don't force anything. Make sure it's nice and straight, because you want to make sure these gears, the gear and the warm gear, fit in there perfect, not forced or at the wrong angle or anything like that. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is to reinstall the limit switch. Remember, that just snaps right in there. Remember, it just goes in here first, right there, the black plastic, and then it swings up and goes in there. There you have it. Okay, next thing is the wiring. Once you have the motor on nice and tight, these 3 for the gear there. Remember, the white wire coming from the motor goes right there. Okay, the red coming from the motor goes here on the top, and the blue coming from the motor goes on the other side. Then you have the red, the thinner wire in my case, red that comes from here, goes on the bottom, and the thin blue one coming from the same area goes on the bottom. Okay, that's your wiring. But again, make sure you check right here that everything matches up before you turn anything, anything on. Okay, next I recommend make sure everything is clear, especially here, the wiring to the gears, that nothing is going to get caught once this turns, and go ahead and plug it in and check it out. Next step is to remove the tape or whatever you use to keep the chain on the rail, and go ahead and pull the chain back and put it onto the sprocket. I would recommend try to match it up. It doesn't look like it much on the video, but they're pretty even. Next, after you've done that, what you're going to do is start tightening this bolt, okay, to pull the slack on the chain. Okay, depending on the unit you have, it says that if you have a square rail, it's different than if you have a T-rail. So when the chain is approximately 1/4 inch if you have a square rail, or 1/2 inch if you have a T-rail, which is what I have, above the base of the rail at its midpoint, you go ahead and retighten the inner nut. Okay, so midpoint, you want to see that it's about 1/2 inch. It's kind of dark, of course, but then you go ahead and tighten the other nut. So I didn't have to do anything since everything was the same size. This looks fine, and I'm going to try it now. Okay, I have an issue with the up and down. So I have to do the adjustments right here in the back. And I'm going to briefly explain them, but I'm not going to sit here. It's very, very late in the evening, and I'm going to continue tomorrow. So again, tomorrow morning, I'm going to continue and show the adjustments. Thank you. End of video 2.